Hello and welcome to the Hespect MMA podcast, where we cover MMA's hottest headlines, fight card bouts, fighter drama, discuss fight predictions, media giants, and basically all things MMA related. Made by fans, for the fans. This is your host, Hespectful Keith, and I'd love for you to come and join me here, often visited by special guest and best friend of mine, codenamed Throb Lowe, as we share our memories, takes, and opinions on the frequently changing landscape that is MMA. Now, without further ado, let's MMA and chill. Alrighty. What is up, everybody? It's July 16th. Hespectful Keith. I'll be doing this partially solo today. Throb Lowe is not with us. Off to the cabin with the boys. Yesterday he was prepping for the weekends. Again, food, drinks, alcohol. Anna. You know how to do. Shout out to Throb Lowe and the boys. Hope y'all enjoying and staying safe. Anyways, y'all know what it is. I live the dad life, so. And I live in a city away from them. So here we are. Thanks for listening in. Later on, my brother Rowin Bernardo, Kuya, aka to me. He's gonna be coming in to discuss the results of Wonderboy and Burns, as well as the main event. Why am I drawing a blank here? Sorry. Took a huge rip earlier. That happens sometimes. Anyways. Conor and Dustin. Of course. Fucking casual brain. But yeah. First off, let's talk about that. The obvious thing. UFC 264. That's what we're here for. Poirier vs. McGregor 3. Gosh. I'm sure a lot of people can share my sentiment when I say definitely not the way any of us want it to end. But we'll get to that. Alright. Yeah, there you go. Once we get to that, my brother will be with us. Anyways, let's start off with some of the big moves off the card. Boop boop. That would be the cell phone there. I don't know if that mic picked it up. Anyways, the opener of the early prelims was pretty sick. Zalias Zumagulov defeated Jerome Rivera via standing guillotine in 2 minutes and 2 seconds of round 1. If you missed it, you guys gotta search this up. You know, by any means. You know, either on your UFC account, if you can get the replay, or you know, I'm sure you'll see the replay out there somewhere. It was a really impressive submission by this kid. He caught it up in a scramble. He was up against the fence, snatched up quick and tight. Should have seen the angle. It was a really brutal way to be submitted. Just cranked it at this angle that forced Jerome Rivera to tap. Very uncomfortable looking. Very beautiful finish. So that puts Zumagulov back in the win column. He's bouncing back from a 2-loss skid. I'm sure he's excited. I gotta say though, this motherfucker, he looks like Triple G, eh? I'll do his spect. It's all love. All jokes here at Hespect MMA. Might be a short episode. Episode 15. Never know. Don't have Throbby with me to discuss stuff. But here we are. We're doing it, people. Alright, let's go. I'm excited to see if he can keep these kind of performances up. Zumagulov. 125, it needs to get deeper. You hear about some names here and there, but Really, the biggest players are Moreno and Figueiredo. Cody's still trying to drop down, apparently. Come on, Cody. As if he's not already thin enough at 135, you know. Yeah, all due respect. I don't mean to disrespect any fighter. But Cody's gotta stay at 135. Especially with all this beef with O'Malley. O'Malley, you know, shooting for the stars. He's definitely got the skill. The potential is there. But, yeah, Cody's really up there. If he can secure that fight, though. But, as the saying goes, you gotta earn your way through. So, who knows? Someone's gotta take the O'Malley fight. Eventually. I would like to see the Cheeto rematch. Why is no one talking? They gotta talk about that. That needs a little more discussion. Sean O'Malley fans won't even. Every time you mention Cheeto, they just go, "Oh, he's still undefeated." Come on, guys. Let's bring some clarity back now. Then, why don't we? Right? Have the rematch. We all know, okay? Shout out to Dr. Bu Hightower for informing us. Anyone listening, anyone who cares, anyone with a brain who's not a hating casual, that porneal nerve, special like the liver punch of the leg, shutting down the ankle. It's been used and seen in the title fight with Henry Cejudo and Mighty Mouse. The second fight, you might remember, as well as the fight with Sean O'Malley and Cheeto Vera. Cheeto, you know, he got the Aldo rub. You know, he may have lost that fight, but I'm sure he took a lot of learning lessons from that result. So, I think enough time has elapsed that those two need to go ahead. Of course, we'll speak more about Sean. Went a little off rail there. But yeah. Zumagulov, hopefully he improves. Maybe considers changing his nickname to Triple G. And yeah, we'll see if we can deepen 125 there. Moving on, though, the middleweight bout between Brad Tavares and Omari Akhmedov ends in a split decision. I was about as surprised as Tavares was once they said it was a split decision. You know, Tavares clearly, you know, it was a classic showing by him. He did it well. He kept it in his lane at his pace. He fended off the takedowns from Omari, from Mr. Akhmedov. You know, not to say he didn't have some good moments, but when he scored a good moment, he never built much off those exchanges. Still, though, split decision isn't the way to do it. Rank 12 now. Sean Strickland, Edmund Shabazian, they're all up on the board there. What's next for him? I like the Sean Strickland bout. You know, they're right beside each other. Strickland's a gamer. It's kind of like a pressure / counter fighter. It's a very odd style, you know, because he comes at you, he talks to you, but then he never really goes first. He lets you open up and then he counters, which is, yeah, it's quite unique. So I like Strickland and Tavares. That'd be a fun one. Both guys like to bang. Both guys, I think, on win streaks too, no? Yeah, Tavares on a 2-win streak. And Mr. Strickland. Using prospects and forcing one of them back down the ladder. So I don't know if the UFC will do that. Like I said, time will only tell. So we will see. Moving on from there, I think the top of... I expected it to. And I believe Throb also threw down a prediction. I mean, we were both correct. We said Jennifer Maia would win by unanimous decision. But we both thought that she would bully Jessica, or maybe I shouldn't speak for Throb, but I certainly thought Jennifer Maia was going to bully Jessica Ai, and she took more of a defensive approach. You know, she had a lot of movement. Pretty amazing movement, like the whole 15 minutes, didn't gas out, seemingly. But yeah, Jessica Ai was the one that pushed the action. Didn't quite get the better of all the exchanges. And yeah, she got opened up by a nasty headbutt. Her and Maya clashed heads during an exchange. You know, I'm sure you guys seen the memes. Jessica Third Eye, right? Oh dear, but yeah, she stayed game. She fought till the end. I would even say that it seemed like she was starting to turn it up in the third round there, but too little, too late. It was 15 minutes, not 25. So Maya skates away with the UD, rightfully so. Yeah, just didn't happen the way that we thought it would happen. And then the opener, moving on there. The openers of the prelims. Duplessis, Mr. Duplessis. What can we say? KO Trevin Giles with punches in round 2 at 141. You gotta give credit to Giles though. You know, he has a great display of unorthodox striking. You know, almost kind of like a Wonder Boy kind of thing going on there. Karate, the hop, striking, hands low. But yeah, just didn't have the head movement primed out there. And it went back and forth during that first round, up until Duplessis secured top position during a scramble. Even threatened with a rear naked choke. And I think that set the tone for the second round, because Giles, when he came out, it seemed like he was definitely more wary of what happened coming into the second, you know. And I think that's what probably opened him up for to get caught by Duplessis. You know, it was beautiful right hand. You know, he kind of he was backing up and he bounced off the cage and used that momentum to just catch Guile moving backwards. You know, so even though he was on point with knowing that Duplessis was coming at him, the momentum of bouncing off the cage allowed him to just snake that right hand a little further than if he had tried it from a static position or starting position. So yeah, middleweight, definitely spicing up. Yeah, you know, Izzy back, defended against Marvin Vittori, dominated him, trolled him, smacked his ass, cried about thigh strikes, you know, just doing the damn thing. And hopefully Bobby Knuckles will be able to pull through there. Not that I hate Izzy or anything, I just love Bobby Knuckles, so we'll see. You know, Jan Blachowicz definitely showed a little bit of weakness in terms of timing the takedown with Izzy, but the more time passes, you gotta know Izzy's tightening that flaw up, so it's gonna be interesting. And we haven't seen Bobby since I believe the Jared fight, so it's gonna be great. I'm glad that they're finally fighting. It's overdue for Bobby. Moving on from that one though, Ilya Topuria defeating Ryan Hall with KO punches, round 1, 447. It was savage. This weird game plan, because Hall just, I don't know, I guess he just wanted to try and get a leg lock going. But anyways, there was a scramble that happened, and Topuria was able to secure Hall's arm before he was able to roll on his back, I believe, and then dude just unloaded. Felt bad, you know. I had Hall on my IG pics, and a lot of people were, you know, to put it in a funny context, I guess, they're on Hall's balls, and yeah, that was the result. But it's not to say anyone is overlooking Ilya, because that dude is serious, and he was undefeated and is undefeated still after that. So if you don't know, now you know, people. And I should have known. And well, I did know, and I just thought, you know, because Hall was getting his thing going too. Anyways, there you go. Beautiful knockout. Really good catch at the scramble there. Check it out if you haven't. Oh, just gotta plug in my laptop. Shifted to the laundry room there. Where was I? From the laundry room of the Hespect MMA headquarters. I think we just finished talking about Ilya Topuria. Or it's probably something else, sorry. One day someone will catch me and say something. But for now, I'm not even famous enough to get roasted. And if I did, I won't give a fuck. Anyways. Thanks to all my listeners for tuning in. Hey, don't forget to subscribe or follow or something. Come on, let's go, people. I love y'all. Show us some support. Tell people about me. But no, not trying to get too famous. Get like Woodley famous, and then, you know. And it's not like I care about the brutality of the internet. It's just, you gotta be on all the time. It's just like, I don't want to be on all the time. But we on here. Hespect MMA. But yeah, we were talking about Ilya Topuria. Sorry, my pronunciation's off. So, and let's move on to Max. So that means we're moving on to Max Griffin, who defeated Carlos Condit, the OG, quite handily via UD. Yeah, it was awesome showing by Max Griffin. I messaged him. You know, he's very responsive to his followers right now. He's always posting memes, trying to, you know, give us some good content to laugh at. Shout out to Max Payne Griffin. I got you on my IG pics. And yeah, that was even after, you know, I was picking Condit on the pod, but I had changed my mind, Mr. Griffin. So if you hear this, cheers to you. I was just like, you know what? Griffin, he's younger, and he's getting better all the time. So I changed my pick, and all due respect, Mr. Carlos Condit, you're an OG. As you all can see, Max Griffin, you know, stays a step ahead. Yeah, the whole way. What's next for him on the welterweight title picture there? Welterweight always been quite stacked with competition. So that's all the credit. You gotta give credit to Mr. Usman at the top there, fending off all these contenders. Mr. Boris Khamzat Chimaev recently got scheduled to fight Li Jingliang, so he's about to dip his toes into the rank board there. I mean, didn't they took out Leon at some point, and then Khamzat was rank 15. And it was like some kind of weird power play by the UFC brass, because Leon had been complaining about fighting a guy, and then Khamzat was like, fight me, and then he's like, you're not even ranked, and then that happened, and it was just really strange. Quite hilarious, though. Yeah, so welterweight there. We'll see what happens to Max Griffin. I can't wait. You know, he's young, he's talented, he's a force to be reckoned with. and his nickname's Pain. So can't get better than that. Shout out Max Grip. Right, now, getting into that main card, the opener, Mr. Sean O'Malley defeats Chris Motino via TKO technically, but it's not like Chris was down or out. He was definitely outclassed. Sean O'Malley on full display. Hit the highest average. Was that highest accuracy for strikes in bantamweight, as well as most strikes landed in rounds 1, 2, and 3. All, and you can't give him full credit. You gotta also give credit to Mr. Motino there. Chris, the guy was a zombie that night, absorbed all the punishment that Sean O'Malley had to dish out on him. Didn't get dropped. Oh, he did get dropped once or twice. But he didn't stop coming. Never hesitated. There was no fear. And he was talking to O'Malley, and O'Malley was looking up at the clock. He can say what he wants, but you could tell the dude was like, God damn, when is this guy? When is the end of the round? This dude just won't stop. He was in super defense mode because of Motino's pressure. Man, that kid's got a lot of potential. If he keeps that kind of chin for the long run, obviously you don't want to absorb that much punishment in every fight, because chances are you won't keep that chin. But he shores up his skill with his heart and his chin. He's gonna be a force to be reckoned with, And now that he knows, who knows? I haven't seen his previous fights, but if that fight showed him anything, it's that he can take a punch and keep going, But don't get reckless. Obviously, I'm sure his coaches will tell him, don't listen to me. I'm just some fucking chubby fight fan sitting in the laundry room talking about these amazing fights. And the thing is, Motino, he's also young. I'm sure he's learned that, wow, this guy's a knockout artist and he couldn't knock me out. So you shore up your skills with that. You got your chin and your heart. Like, work on cutting off the cage when it comes to a guy that with movement like that. His coaches were calling him to faint more, but he was just there to make it an exciting fight, and he accomplished that. So, for me personally, it kind of overshadows O'Malley's performance. Is that daring? Too daring to say? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Mr. O'Malley, great performance by Mr. O'Malley, but just wow. You gotta say wow to Chris Motino. Like, what a chin, what a heart. Like, all love, Mr. Chris. If this clip or whatever finds its way to you, just know that, yeah, me out of many thousands of people have gained respect for you for what you did that night, and we are looking forward to your future performances, sir. So yeah, like I said, I'm a couch potato. I can say what I want. It's all subjective, right, Mr. Chris Motino? All due respect. But yeah, shorten the skills, shores up with the will, and you're gonna be a killer, Yeah. So moving on from there, this one was a bit sad for me because I love the power couple that is Thiago Santos and Yana Kunitskaya. Unfortunately, she got finished by Irene Aldana. A lot of people kind of trying to blame her for the lack of cutting weight. She came in quite overweight, almost 5 pounds overweight. Yana, she cut properly. There's a line. There was some interviews. If you didn't read around, Aldana, she cited, it was at that time of the month, lady issues, yada yada. And it affects the female fighters. So, whether you can or can't find some kind of understanding in that, that's just the way it played out. Yana, she was willing to fight. That's the risk that happens. Whether or not Irene Aldana was way more hydrated and way more replenished or whatnot than Yana was. A fight's a fight. That's what happened. And, it was a great finish. Great finish. It's really sad for Yana, but good finish by Irene Aldana. So that's the result there. Who knows? They probably won't run it back right away. But down the road, I'm sure Yana will have her chance to take that one back. Or try to, at least. So all due respect to the ladies, and if you don't understand the reasoning behind why Irene couldn't cut weight properly, and that's on you. It's not really on her anymore. What's done is done. Moving on from there, at class, contemplating, I was celebrating. Good. No, I'm kidding. Tai Tuivasa, my dog, gets the job done. KOs Greg Hardy in the first round. If you haven't seen the highlight, then are you really a fan? I mean, it was fantastic. Both guys came out hard. Heavyweight power. On the edge of your heat seat as soon as the fight starts. Less than 2 minutes in, just over a minute in, Greg Hardy kind of catches Tuivasa. Now Tai, he said himself, back in the day, I would have just lost it right there, tossed caution to the wind, and just started to bar brawl. But he gathered himself. Quite similar to how Francis gathered himself after being stung by Stipe. Because he dropped Stipe, and Stipe recovered during their rematch. And Stipe hit him with a good clean hand, almost the same one that he hit Fabricio Werdum with, because Francis was coming forward. Now the thing is, when Fabricio Werdum got hit with that punch, he dropped like a sack of potatoes, all due respect. Now when Francis got hit by that punch, man was still standing, and he took it quite well. It stopped him. He went, ugh. He acknowledged the punch happened, and Stipe saw it. But maybe because he himself was hurt, and he just got hurt by Francis' drop by him. I guess his mind was like, oh, I've got him on the back pedal, but then he just ran into another right hand from Francis land, Ngannou land. And the rest is history. Anyways, going back to what I was saying. Tai Tuivasa, he composed himself, and Greg Hardy was the one that got a little overzealous. He charged. Tuivasa thinking he was hurt, thinking, I got this. Boom. Product of the demise of Tuivasa. Getting too hungry, going in for the kill a little too early. Got bop, stunned, and then another one came up top. I believe it was a right hand that stunned him, and then the left up the top, not the other way, and dropped Hardy, and then a bit of ground and pound there, and it was over. No wrestling needed. Pretty crazy, exciting. So please, jeez, if you're a fight fan, go search that knockout. It is amazing. I want everyone who hasn't seen it to go see it. It's beautiful. Listen, I'm not a violent man, but I like seeing violence. Professional violence. Officiated violence. And your occasional world star, But yeah, there you go. That's great. We'll probably be... I will be bringing in my Kuya to discuss this co-main and main event. So we're gonna patch him in. One moment. Be right back. Hey, hey.
Hey, brother, can you hear me?
I can hear ya.
Oh, snap.
Yes. How you doing?
Could you?
Good. Just find the powerful refurbished laptop that I'm.
Oh,
You know what? I have to what? Can you hear me?
you're cutting out, sir.
Oh shit! I'm wondering if my entire pod's like that. I've been wondering. Hold on.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is it too loud?
No.
Okay. I think the rest of my pod, maybe I'm cutting out, but whatever. It's okay. We're working out the kinks. I maybe should have asked earlier.
It's all good. Seems to be a little bit of delay of when you receive my, I guess, feed.
Oh
It
yeah.
shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fine. That happened to me and Damon. It's because I'm coming to everybody live from the laundry room right now, so.
Nice.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah. So I don't know if you and me talked about you coming down this month, right?
Sorry, brother, you cut out again. What you said? What earlier?
Hello? How's that? Is this better?
Yeah, no, I can hear you clearly when it does work, but sometimes when you're talking, you cut out as you're talking.
Oh darn. Hope the whole pod's not like that.
Um, I hope not either. But what were you saying earlier this month? Something?
No, yeah, you're coming sometime soon, right? Or
Oh yeah, I'll be there about 2 weeks.
okay. So in August?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. All right, let's jump into it. So yeah, we were gonna talk about the co-main and main event of UFC 264 there. You happen to catch either fight or?
I did. We were at Christine's cousin's house for her nephew's 5th birthday.
Yeah.
Spider-Man came to visit.
Nice.
Pretty hilarious. No, it's a. I hope he's not listening to this. He may or may not be. Actually, just in case, let's just say Spider-Man was in.
Okay. It's all good.
Yeah. So
why would they listen to this?
we ended up. I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. But just in case Edra goes up and starts listening to this, let's not burst his imagination. So, yeah. In terms of the co-main event, we ended up watching it at the end of the night. We were streaming it somewhere, but or actually, we purchased for pay-per-view. Sorry, I made that mistake.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we cut out sometimes. We made the best of it, but yeah, we ended up watching the last two fights, co-main event and the main event.
Nice. What you think of the co-main? Burns and Thompson.
It was good. I honestly forgot what my prediction was. I think it was Burns. Who's ever not Wonder Boy. I think that was my prediction. He wins.
You had said who the defensive fighter was, and we all said Thompson.
Okay, so was Thompson the Wonder Boy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all lost.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know if you remember on the pod, but I had been talking about his Gilbert Burns. He had some crazy ass fucking training going on for Stephen Thompson. Brought in like a special training partner who was very familiar with Thompson's style. And then he was going to this crazy gym called the IHP that does fight simulation training, but with weights. So it's like if you're gonna take someone down, but you're taking down this like just this bar with like weights on it, and it's probably like heavier than Wonder Boy. And then
Ah,
yeah, his game planning was just it was very technical, and I mean this guy's been proving himself time and time again at welterweight. He only lost to the champion, and I think before that he was trying to fight at a division that was kind of draining him. He's
uh-huh.
trying to fight a division below. But yeah, he's serious, man. Anyone who does that to Wonder Boy, obviously it wasn't the most exciting fight, especially to probably a casual fan. But he did what he had to do, and he was able to control Thompson, which was not a lot of people do that to Thompson.
Well, to that backstory, I had no idea. I don't know. I don't even recall if we mentioned that last time I talked to you guys.
Yeah.
But that speaks to how good Wonder Boy is. Then, if Burns had to go to those lengths to get that type of training,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, it's
that's
true.
what I'm seeing them fight. So, I guess if Wonder Boy has had better matches, then Burns really did a good job at preparing for him specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely did. Like,
Mm.
I was scared. I was scared for Wonder Boy because I've been wanting him to get the title shot, and he's been winning and not getting it because he's not the type of guy to cut a promo and call anyone out and be bombastic.
Were
But yeah, he was on.
you guys mentioning that like their promos weren't all that great? I guess in comparison to Conor, like because they were two humble guys.
Yeah, they're nice guys.
Even
So
when they either touch gloves or before the round ended or before the round begins, they would show some sort of respect. So it was a very respectful fight in that. No taunting, no like nothing like that. So with what you said, yeah, to see Wonder Boy kind of go out of his character in terms of promo, um, I don't know. uh, I don't. This might be too deep of thinking. Do you think that might have caught him off his game, trying to do something he's not really used to?
no, I don't think so. I think he was trying to just yeah, he just does himself, right? And
Uh,
yeah, Burns was just the better man. It's like he had the perfect plan to shut him down. And the
yeah.
guy's a hell of a grappler, right? One of the world's best. He actually competes actively in the sport of jiu-jitsu while fighting MMA, and
Oh,
seems to be injury free. So it's crazy. he's an elite talent in two different combat sports right now.
yeah. No, that's that speaks to his heart, his work ethic, and whatnot.
Mm.
Um, from what I remember about the fight, it's starting to get a little hazy now. But yeah, a lot of nothing too flashy, a lot of ground stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think one had some moments where he had some openings, but
Mhm.
it seemed like Burns had a counter for every time he was facing a wave of flurries from Wonder Boy.
Yeah, yeah. Just it was
Is that accurate or like I don't know? Like that's kind of what I remember,
yeah.
where
No,
he was
that's
trying to. He was, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head. He just had the answer for everything Wonder Boy had, which is like, and I don't know if you remember the build-up video before the walkout. Wonder Boy, he takes pride in being looked at as a puzzle to be figured out, and unfortunately, Burns figured out the puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put it together. Yeah, so
So, is this their first match together, or have they had matches against each other before?
no, it's their first match together. Yeah.
Do you foresee a rematch, or do you think this is a one and done?
It might be one and done because Thompson, he's quite advanced, even though he fights like a young man and looks like a young man, acts like a young man. He's actually 38, so I don't know when the father time will start showing itself, but yeah, I just don't know. we'll see, because he's still a puzzle to a lot of fighters, and the reason why he fought Gilbert is because no one else wanted to fight him. So who knows? Maybe if top contenders keep thinking, hey, maybe I can make a name off Wonder Boy, then Wonder Boy has some fodder to hang around the top and see if he can make it to the title. But yeah, that's my
How?
sorry.
No, go ahead. That's your what?
That's my title aspirations for Wonder Boy derailed. I thought they were gonna do it this year.
Do you? How old is Burns?
Burns, he might be early 30s, I believe, just coming into the prime age. Oh, he's pretty advanced too, 34. But moving up in weight seems to really have given him like a second wind.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he only lost to the champion now, and he's been winning before that. So yeah, I don't know. It's just he just looks like he's on a different level despite the age.
Yeah. Now, one of two things can happen regardless of this. So, like, does Wonder Boy have like a lot of losses, or is because of it because he's such a puzzle, it's very low, if any?
Yeah, no, his ratio is fantastic still. Yeah, so he's at 16-5.
Now, the reason why I asked that is that maybe because to prepare for a fighter like a puzzle opponent like Wonder Boy, uh, one of two things may happen. Burns may take his next opponent lightly because he puts so much time and effort to try to figure out Wonder Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Or he can just ride the momentums like nobody can mess with me. Now with Wonder Boy, because he never really had to, and correct me if I'm wrong, never really had to figure out his opponent because he was such a puzzle. This
Mm-hmm.
might force him to go into back to the drawing board. Like, gotta make this more complex now, and and because of this, I'll be able, or I should be able, to make another run for X amount of fights before someone figures me out again.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Definitely. With Thompson in the same hand, he's been so successful with his style for so long. You gotta wonder, are you going to add more to it? Is there another layer that you haven't shown yet? Will you add another layer now with the loss? So yeah, it's definitely an interesting thought. I would like to see it. You know how surprised I'd be if he shot for a takedown and scored his takedown? I'd be like, oh shit, he's doing the George St. Pierre. Yeah, because
Well,
George was a karate guy, and then he got knocked out, experienced his first pro loss, I believe, at that time, or the second pro loss, and then just dived into grappling and became one of the best wrestlers in his division, despite having a striking base, and that doesn't happen often. It's very uncommon for a fighter to switch into that, and George did it, and then he still had a striking. So when he was reigning, it's like he always decided how the fight or where the fight was taking place, and it was like a superpower.
the fight was dictated on his terms.
Yeah, always. Like, if you're beating me on the feet, I'm gonna take you down, and you can't stop my takedowns. If you're threatening me too much on the ground, we're gonna stand up, and I'm gonna use my striking, which is probably better than yours, and I'm just gonna beat you on the feet. That's what he did.
Yeah, well, no, I appreciate you letting me know that. I had no idea because I only knew him as a grappler, as a ground and pound guy. I
Hmm.
didn't know
Yeah,
his foundation was karate. So, I mean, if
yeah.
one person that caliber can't do it, was to say not just Wonder Boy, but maybe Burns rises momentum and adds more complexity to his strategy. Who knows?
Hmm.
Well, if you were Wonder Boy, like, what would you do? Do you keep things as is? Because this is probably his first loss after a bunch of wins, or do you try to tweak it for the next opponent?
Yeah. Well, he did lose. Like, he lost to Burns. He was on a 2-fight win streak. Before that, he had gotten KO'd by a guy he was dominating for the better part of the fight. But the guy that KO'd him, he's a former champ from a weight class below, and It's just he's just dangerous all the time, right? Like you make one mistake, he's gonna KO you. So that happened. And then before that, he fought an Englishman named Darren Till, who's a weight division above now because he's just a big boy for welterweight. But a lot of people gave it to Wonder Boy, so he's kind of been, on the shit end of a judge's scorecard, and then the shit end of just having that one slip up and get knocked out by a very dangerous guy. But then when he bounced back with the 2-win streak, he ran into Burns after that, and it's just yeah. In terms of will he improve? Like I said, I'd be super surprised if Wonder Boy ever came out and shot a takedown, even tried a takedown. Who knows if he would even secure it? He does train with a former champ wrestler called Chris Weidman. He's the guy who first knocked out Anderson Silva.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. That guy's a hell of a wrestler, but it seems like Thompson just learned how to defend the great wrestling of opponents, not really applied it himself. So, if this is some kind of late turnaround and he says, hey, teach me how to take these fucking guys down, who knows?
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see. Is there any anticipation that he's going to fight again in the next event, or it's still kind of up in the air?
At this point, it's up in the air. He was heading towards a title shot. Probably would have gotten it with a win over Burns. But now that he lost, it's going to be confusing because, like I said, some fighters just don't want to fight him. Right? Too much of a problem. I'll fight someone else in the rankings. So yeah, I feel bad, but I don't know. He might be in limbo for a while there. But Gilbert
Let
Burns,
me
he's moving forward.
I think of I guess I think of it's been a while since I watched battle rap, but they have this thing like in terms of politics of like, hey, well, if I face him, it's not going to do anything for me. A lot of battle rappers will say that if they really aren't, they're either scared of an opponent or they'll try to downplay them because yeah, you know what I mean. Is he one of those guys? Like, even if I beat him, I don't know how much it would do for my career.
Yes, exactly. You got it. Because, see, as a casual fan, right, you saw the co-main, and there's a lot of groundwork, right? Definitely not the most exciting thing, even for a lot of hardcore fans. A lot of hardcore fans, they prefer striking. They don't want to go watch kickboxing or Muay Thai, so here we are. But anyways, they exist. All due respect. But yeah, and that's because of Thompson, right? Well, what was Burns supposed to do? Play the striking game? Get possibly knocked out? Hell no, he has to do what he has to do to win. It's not the most exciting thing, and that's because it's Wonder Boy. And yeah, a lot of guys are like, even if I could pull that off, what's it gonna do, right? No one's gonna be talking about me after. Like, oh my god, he just held Wonder Boy down. Amazing. Like, no one's gonna say that.
That's interesting. That must be tough for Thompson then, to be in that position.
When you're so good, and it's just like, yeah, it's a tough position, really, really.
Yeah. Well, kudos to them for both, putting on a good fight, and I guess we'll see where they are in the next few months with their next matchup.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if you remember, but you were asking a little bit about weight cutting. Do you remember any of your further questions that you had? In the last pod?
Oh, it's a good question. I guess, well, the first thing that I can think of is like, okay, so if all fighters know and all people who organize and promoters and all this, if they know the fighters are cutting water weight just to make weight, they know they're gonna pump it all back with a bunch of water. Then what's up with the whole weight? What is it called? The weight off or the weigh in? Sorry.
Yeah. So it's interesting to hear you.
Why don't you just hydrate yourself and eat that weight?
Yeah.
This is me at 145 with with fully hydration? Why do I have to cut weight to meet 145?
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, no, that's awesome that you actually came out and said that, because Joe Rogan himself is a big proponent of that. He actually asks the same thing. Because what weight cutting is in MMA, it stems from wrestling, and all it is it's sanctioned cheating. It's like, yeah, you can lie about what you really weigh if you can do it, and if you can hold it until we confirm that you can make that weight, then it's fine. You can drink all the water you want, and 24 hours later, we'll throw you in the cage with someone who might be smaller or bigger than you.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it's weird. And then, some fighters, they try to cut to extreme, bad things happen, their health gets affected, especially people who cut heavy for a long period of time. And yeah, that's basically it. The reason why they have the weigh-in show is it's just yeah, for promotion. It's just a show. Like, the fact that some fighters have to put their health on the line to make a weight class, because in their natural division, they got bigger guys going down and then rehydrating, right? So it's a conundrum. Everybody's doing it. And,
Well, I kind of, I'm sorry to interrupt. Like, it's kind of like, again, I don't think it's a controversy. I think it's open for discussion. Where, okay, so if I'm male, and then I transition to female, do I then belong in the women's division? Because I should genetically kick everybody's ass in that division.
yeah, that's another whole conversation in itself, because that's when morality meets science, and the morals and opinions of people, and people married to their opinions. It blurs the line of what should be okay and what's not okay in the world of science.
How do you feel about the weight cutting?
The weight cutting, it is what it is. It's ancient. Um, it's in place. I wish they should just take more measures to make sure fighters are cutting healthy. They are making more measures to make sure they cut healthy and rehydrate healthy. So that's okay. But that whole other thing with transgender athletes, they just need a transgender athlete division, which is hard because transgender fighters aren't even common anyways. But it's completely wrong, If someone who identifies as a woman transitions and they still have a man's bone structure and physique and bone density, you're just like, it's no offense to transgenders or anyone who identifies as anything, but science says you're throwing a man into a fight with a woman. And all due respect to ladies, right? They do great things, but when it comes to physicality and what a man can do physically and what a woman can do physically, it's two different worlds. We're built different. That's why we are man and woman. We're built different, physically at least.
Yeah, like just adding on to your point, you came up with a better word or term, bone density. So like
Yeah.
a man versus a woman genetically, the man physically at their both at their physical peaks, the man should win.
Yeah, if they're fighting.
And now a man, yeah, if you fight, if a man faces an ape, even if they're the same height and weight, the ape is going to eat the man alive
Hell
because of bone density, genetics.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right?
its
You're
skin
not
is
going to put.
tough as, like, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, no, just scientifically, it doesn't make any sense. So, and the whole weight thing is like, okay, so say Manny Pacquiao at fully hydrated to 145, but then like, well, whoever like Mike, just this is extreme, but say Mike Tyson cuts water weight so he can cut down to 145. My God, God bless Manny Pacquiao's soul.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it
die.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like a
because
Tyson
then
that could
as
cut healthy and then
hydrate.
rehydrate healthy.
Yeah, yeah. And then the last thing I'll say about transgender division, like that also has to be like woman to man division and man to woman division, because
Yeah.
just because a female slaps a penis on herself, like she can't go up against a guy who chops his dick off.
Yeah, it's just like everyone wants to be included, and that's fine. But
For sure, and it's all good. And sorry if I'm like talking like that, but I'm just saying like I think I heard a long time ago a woman was saying that like I've been fighting or training in an MMA and fighting for over 10 years. They had a transgender woman go into the division, man transitioning to woman, and she says I have never been hit that hard ever in my life.
see, right there, right there.
That makes, you know what I mean? It's like that's because of science.
And you know
Now,
what?
does
I've
that
been. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. You first, and then I'll say my bit.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say like, if I'm the transgender woman, like, do I feel good like kicking everybody, like just basically owning this league, just because I was born scientifically as a man and then I transitioned? Like, I feel I'm padding my stats. You know, it's natural steroids. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
And it's all due respect. Seriously, like to whatever you identify as. You know, if you
Yeah, it's
identify
okay.
as an attack helicopter, then you're an attack
Identification.
helicopter. You know.
Yeah, just make divisions for every type of identification that you belong in, like, or that you feel like you belong in, which is fine. I'm not going to go in any men's division because I'm going to get my ass kicked. Yeah.
So, oh, you know what? I lost what I was gonna say now.
So I should have got you to go.
No, it's okay. It's my fault. So rewind. What were you saying before? I was gonna say something.
Well, yeah, we're just talking about like how for me, if I was a transgender woman, like man to male, female, how can I feel good about myself knowing that like genetically I have an advantage and scientifically and I'm like, what am I, the greatest woman's like fighter in the world then?
Yeah.
Like if
I
LeBron James went to NBA because WNBA because he transitioned like Caitlyn Jenner,
yeah.
he's gonna
Exactly.
rush
Exactly.
the whole league.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And that's just what it is. You know, it's just science. It's not disrespect.
Yeah.
I remember now. I was talking to my coworker Sandra. He's this older gentleman that works in shipping. And yeah, we've had conversations about this, and it's just like it is what it is, you know. Whatever you identify as, you know, just don't deny the science. You can't just chop your dick off and yeah. I remember now. Like he was talking about this video he watched about this bodybuilder, right? Big jack dude. He recorded this video to prove a point to people. And what it was is he's standing there, you know, big and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, you know what the record deadlift for women is?" Says the weight, and then he's like, "This is the weight of the thing below me. I'd identify as a woman right now." And then he deadlifted it, and he's not like some world championship deadlifter or anything. He doesn't train in any competitions, but he just smashed the women's record. And then he's like, I guess I'm the record holder now. So there you go. Proves the point, right? It's no disrespect. We're just built different. Yeah, so I don't even know how we got off on that tangent, but
Well, we were talking about water weight with like divisions, and like it does make sense to me. It's supposed to be for the welterweight championship, and a guy who's naturally a heavyweight or something like that. I don't know what the weights are. When he's naturally 160 with hydration, but he cut weight to meet 145. That doesn't make sense because you guys are gonna fight hydrate.
It's so stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
if they made everyone fight at their natural weight, man, would the whole MMA world look different right now? Cause yeah, so basically, take any fighter at their weight, and right now the average is 20, 25, 30 pounds that they're cutting. 30 at the most. You know, some of them used to do 40, because back in the day the rules were different. You can use an IV to rehydrate, but they found out that you can also mask PEDs in the IV, so they banned the IV. So yeah, you have to, you rehydrate normally now. The IV is like instant too, right? Like right in the vein or whatnot.
Yeah.
Now you got to drink it. Your body has to process it. It has to digest and all that. So yeah, it went from like people cutting 30 to 40 pounds to 20 to 30. So yeah, for example, welterweight 170, right? Those guys are probably actually like around 200. Hey baby, what's it? She just came to say hi.
Who's that? Is it
Oh, it's Claire.
Or Kid?
Claire.
She's gone.
I forgot to give her a shout out on my last pod. She was my data collection for UFC 264 because I was always working, and she's like, "Hey, why don't I do all that typing thing that you do?" Because I collect data for the card and stuff. Shout out, baby. Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, you take a weight class and add 20 to 30 pounds. So what you know any weight class names or the number?
Me off the top of my head? No, I have no idea.
Like okay, let's take Conor and Dustin for example, let's just move on into there. So yeah, the lightweight title fight, Conor, McGregor and Dustin, Poirier, the trilogy. Yeah, so Dustin, he actually walks around at 180. He's posted a video of it. It's crazy, right? A 155, so how much he's cutting?
25.
25. Jesus Christ. He's a thick boy too. And remember how you were saying last episode the regular athlete's body is very square? Not like a cosmetic body, like V-shaped or hourglass shaped. Yo, if Dustin ain't the man is built like a slice of bread, bro. The man is built like a slice of bread, man. He is the most square boy you will ever meet.
GSP is pretty square.
He's pretty square too, man.
Yeah.
Didn't he play like a frog bad guy in the Avengers?
Yeah. I think he played Russian.
Bartok the Leaper, I think.
Yeah.
Leap like a frog.
I remember seeing a commercial of him. He was like in a frog position. He was facing one way, and in one jump he went 180 and faced the other way, landing in the frog position.
Okay,
I was like, what the fuck did I do?
You remember Battletoads?
Yeah. No, what's Battletoads?
Oh, we used to play that together on SNES or whatnot. It was like these two big buff fighting toads with, regular toad legs. Well, buff toad legs, but... GSP, man, he's built like a Battletoad.
I'd have to Google Battletoads, but that sounds hilarious.
Yeah, Google it later, man. You'll remember. It's funny. You used to do this hilarious thing with... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You used to do this hilarious thing. I didn't know the buttons to press, but with one of the Battletoads, you would make him kick, and his shoe is like it would become gigantic, like Smash Brothers Mario. Like it's so funny. We used to laugh at that. Yeah.
I don't remember this video game.
I remember it. Search it up.
What
were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say. So Daniel Poirier. Okay, so the lightweight division is 155. He cut weight 25 pounds, ate the weigh-in, and then hydrated. He's 180. Oh, sorry, 160.
You mean
sorry,
Dustin?
180. Yeah.
Yeah, Dustin Poirier. Yeah, he cuts 25 pounds. His walk around weight off camp is 180, so he probably gets close to there, like probably maybe like 178 or something. Maybe probably doesn't make it all the way back, but yeah.
What's
Yes.
Conor?
Conor, his walk around weight is 168, 169 ish. Because when he fought Diaz, he said he didn't cut weight or anything, just did whatever. Walked in at 169, 168.
He only cut like 13, 14 pounds.
Yeah, so in actuality,
That
like
11-pound disadvantage.
yeah, exactly. And
What
you
the
know, the
fuck?
first time, sorry.
No, I was just like, what the fuck? Why would he do that to himself? Poirier has the weight advantage.
Yeah. But Conor, he likes being full, you know, he likes eating. He doesn't want to diet to 145. So that's where they first fought at 145. And remember Damon saying, you know, there's give and take with weight cutting?
Yeah.
So Dustin cutting down to 145 when they first fought, he was too drained, and that's why Conor was able to knock him out real fast.
Because that's closer to Conor's weight, his natural weight.
Well, not natural weight, but I guess the proper division for him to compete at. He would still kill himself to make 145, unfortunately. So it's kind of a. That's why MMA is like really hard, right? The weight classes are 10 pounds apart, which when you throw in weight cutting, can get really dicey. You know, if it was more like boxing or even like maybe 5 pounds apart, you could probably see less discrepancies like Conor and Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Crazy.
Yeah, before I knew about weight cutting, once I started diving into it, I was like, wow, this is like a whole thing in itself from MMA, you know? And a lot of people don't know about it, especially the casual fan, right? They see the weigh-in and then they think, oh, two guys are fighting at 155, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One guy's like close to 180 and the other guy's like 10 pounds below or something.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, moving into the fight. Unfortunate ending, but what did you think of it from beginning to end?
Well, obviously the ending was very anticlimactic. At the same time, I'm like, it was very interesting strategy that Conor was doing because that's not his game, right? He doesn't really kick.
No, he actually does. He
Does
fell in
kick?
love with his
Okay.
hands, I guess, as he became more famous and popular.
I see. Well, it kind of reminded me of. Okay, can you tell me if this is a crazy theory? I feel like Conor felt he was gonna lose, so the only way that he could get out of it to make it kind of debatable is not purposely injure himself, but try to do something to end the fight without the decision.
I like it.
Is that theory?
I like it. I'm down for all the conspiracy theories, Joe.
It's
So
like, okay, so I don't know. I don't know if you remember how much you remember about Jersey Shore. But Mike's situation said because he was getting into a conflict with Ronnie. This is like stereo days. This is when we go to the bar, like 2010. Like these are these days. So one of the episodes, Ronnie and Mike were about to go at it, and Ronnie is a wide body, so you just tackle you or just grapple you down. So Mike's a little slender compared to Ronnie, and he knew that he kind of had a feeling like, man, if I actually fight him, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna get like beaten. So he started acting crazy. So he banged his head on the wall and just tried to be like, "Let's do this." And what happened was he broke his neck, and then they ended up just getting him medical attention, and the fight didn't happen.
Oh my god.
That was intense. Like if you act crazy, nobody wants to fight the crazy guy. So I don't know. I feel like with his strategy, I don't know how much he has made that approach in fights. But this is the trilogy. This is the rubber match. He knows Daniel Poirier is more angry at him than Conor's angry at Poirier. Poirier's probably pissed off at Conor because he knows he's gonna make more. He's not gonna make as much money as Conor. And Conor doesn't really need the fight as much as Poirier does, right? We talked about the whole promotion thing, and Conor's pretty set.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like Conor made his money with all the promos and all the shit talk and all that stuff, so he kind of just tried something to get out of the fight without actually losing the fight, if that makes sense. What do you think of that theory?
It is a very, very strong theory, and it's probably a theory that a lot of his fans and definitely himself would probably not want to entertain. But I'm no psychologist. We're no psychologist or anything. But if you can think it, if I can think it, what's it to say that Conor himself couldn't think it, right? Or anyone couldn't think it? Like, you think something and it's possible. That's the time we live in right now.
Is that what you thought?
Okay, so I have to add to it because at first, you know me, I'm inside the box. I sit around. I try to see all the details. Remember when I was saying he's trying to fight Manny Pacquiao before everybody was talking about it? The only other person that I follow that talked about it was Ariel Helwani. And then Conor before this fight was like, I was trying to fight Manny Pacquiao. That's why I was looking past Dustin. I was like, there you go, people. There you go. He said it himself. Now, with your theory.
Which resulted in him losing to Poirier in the second match. Which resulted in Conor's loss in the second match.
Yes.
Because he was focused on that at that time. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now, with your theory in this third match, it's recently come out. Conor said himself. He released photos. His ankle was injured. He had fractures already coming into the fight, and he knew, and the doctors knew, and he still went in because he's prided himself as someone who never pulls out of a fight no matter what, and he calls other people out when they pull out of fights injured. Now, that being said, the whole MMA world is like, if you knew about it, why did you kick with it so much? Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't a fighter that is aware of their own injury, wouldn't they avoid it? Right?
That's the first thing, right? You would change your game plan up. You would, strike, maybe do some grapples, do anything to get the attention away from the. Now I could see Poirier going for it, right? If they both injury, yeah. But for him to really advertise and highlight it, that's when I was like, it was too much of that going on, because I've seen some fights from him, like he doesn't really do that. So it was almost like a emphasis as a game plan. So in basketball, they say point of emphasis, just slow down the fast break, limit turnovers, and make sure you get the rebounds, right? So that's their point of emphasis. And then it changes during halftime. So his point of emphasis was like, let me kick him, even though he's had a wobbled ankle, which doesn't make sense now to me. Like, that theory's kind of looking a little more and more, right?
It's very interesting, and like, this is definitely something that he's never gonna admit it, and a lot of people won't entertain it, but the human mind is a weird thing, and he's a genius. He's made his way, and he's well paid for it. Like, I like your theory. I've been thinking about that, and the whole MMA world has been asking, why would you kick with it then? Why did you kick so much with it, knowing it was already fractured? Very strange decision.
Yeah, so like in terms of that too, like, and as a businessman, okay, if I can get myself injured, now it's left for interpretations like, oh, you're lucky I got injured because I would have fucked you up.
Yeah, it's crazy,
right? And Poirier is probably like, man, shut the fuck up, you're losing anyway, right? Because Christine's cousins were like, well, he was losing the fight anyway. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, it was kind of smart on Conor to like do that, because what the fight was about to be, what, 5 rounds
It was
at
gonna be
5 minutes
5 rounds, yeah.
each.
Yeah. But it's likely that
Yeah, so
he
it's
wouldn't have won throughout the fight because he's not really good with his conditioning. His fighting style
yeah,
is
like
very gas heavy.
advantage to him if the fight ends quick.
Yeah.
Advantage goes to Poirier if we get to the decision, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know, like it's almost like that's the first thing I thought of. Like he's kicking way too much.
Mhm.
That's the first thing. Like I didn't even know the backstory that you told me that his ankles all like is kind of hurt.
Yeah, we all just
But yeah,
found out
it was
recently,
kind
man.
of. Oh wow! It only just came out recently.
Yeah, he just talked about it recently, which is why everybody's like, why? But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Well, that's even more reason to like say like, well, why did you expose yourself then, right? So
Mhm.
I think that theory might be a little bit more on the plausible side because of all that. Oh, plus, if that's his team or his side of the story, where oh here's the injury and all that, like that, the first thing I thought of too, like when you said that was LeBron James after the Golden his last year in Cleveland. They
Mhm.
went against the Warriors in the finals.
Okay.
Game one, they almost stole a victory in Golden State. And
Mhm.
what happened was one of his teammates tore, and they ended up going to overtime. And LeBron was pissed because they ended up losing the game.
Okay.
Um, anyway, in the locker room, he punched the chalkboard or the whatever the whiteboard, whatever, and he broke his hand.
Oh
And he
shit.
didn't share that he broke his hand until after they got swept in the finals.
Oh
Because at the
shit.
post game interview, when everybody obligated to do interviews, he comes out with a soft cast. I'll do a quotation soft cast, and he says, "Oh yeah, after game one, I broke my wrist." And then
Hmm.
it's like, well, it's kind of correlated. Then it's kind of I'm assuming his team showed that his ankle was thing, right? It wasn't like a TMZ source. It wasn't like
No.
a UFC source.
He came out himself and said it.
Yeah, so like, okay, so then there you go. It's almost like they had a game plan of, it's almost giving himself a cushion and like a cause for, um, like, oh, I could have got you still if I wasn't hurt.
Yeah. It's very
Yeah,
almost snaky, you know? And I hate to say,
well, again,
that he's thinking that way, or maybe he's thinking that way, but come on, if anyone's listening, you gotta entertain the idea. If one of us can think of it, why couldn't he think of it, right?
for sure. Like for me, like you said, I'm a casual fan, and I noticed it right away. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of weird. I was approaching this fight, and
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, like now, okay, so he got hurt. He snapped the ankle that was hurt, and then you create all this build up, right? You create all this build up for the fight. Oh, your girls in my DMs and whatnot and whatever.
Yeah,
And then
propping that
after
fourth
the
matchup.
fight, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're just promoting, you're setting yourself up for a fourth fight because oh this fight didn't even finish because I got injured. Otherwise, I would have won, right?
Yeah,
And then he continued on the promo, or he's almost like carrying it on or trying to push for a fourth fight by saying, "Oh yeah, well, your girl's in my DMs and all that." Like
yeah, yeah.
she's still in there. And there you go.
Your wife, your wife is in my DMs, eh? Fucking Connor.
Your
But
wife's
yeah.
in my DMs, bro.
So, would you, as a casual fan, entertain a fourth fight?
If I'm Connor, yes, because I mean it's just easy money for him. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
much it will help Poirier. It'll be a big check, but I don't know how much it'll elevate his career
Mm-hmm. Well, we might
because
not see Connor
he
for a
doesn't
while
have
since he
all.
needs to heal.
Yeah, yeah. So you know what I mean. So if I'm Poirier, no. If I'm Connor, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most of the more hardcore based, we're pretty satisfied. Dustin's the bigger, better man. And, yeah, Connor, we'll have to see. might be on the downslide, but I think he needs to step back. Like I said, I think he needs to entertain that Nate Diaz trilogy as well. Maybe close that one up. In the second match with Diaz, he came out kick heavy as well. But that's because the Diaz brothers are boxers. They're very front leg heavy. So it was a really good strategy to do against Nate. But even that match, I thought Nate won because Conor was kind of gassing in 4 and 5, and Nate was just walking him down like he usually does to all his opponents. The Diaz brothers, I don't know if you ever seen Nate fight, but sometimes he'll just walk towards an opponent who's, back-footing, and he'll just point and smile at them like, what's wrong? Can't fight? Come on, let's go. Even though his face is bleeding.
Well, that's the crazy factor. If you show that you're kind of crazy, you have no choice but to retreat just a little, just to regroup. It's like,
Yeah.
is this guy for real?
Yeah. Yeah. Watch some highlights if you'd like. The Diaz brothers are very entertaining. Yeah. Nate's most infamous moment is he secured this triangle submission. It's a submission with your legs, and then as he held his opponent, waiting for him to tap, he flexed towards the sky or to the cameras, and then double birded towards the sky. Double middle fingers. Yeah, and then he tightened up the sub and then got the tap. But yeah, that's his most infamous moment.
Wow, that's good. See, I could not taunt someone like that because then you're just making more motivation for your opponent to try to get you on the rematch. You're gonna be fucking fuming that you taunted them before you did it. You know what I mean? That's like brutal. I don't know. Like, I think I've seen a video where there's a UFC compilation of WWE finishes, and one of them was the Boston Crab or Walls of Jericho. Do you remember Walls of Jericho?
Oh yeah, yeah. It actually happened in an MMA match.
Yeah, the guy who did it gave like the bird as he was doing it.
Yeah, yeah. It was amazing.
And the guy was like, "Oh shit, that's."
Yeah. I remember that now. I can't believe he pulled it off. You know how incredibly hard it is to pull that off. Actually, pull that off in a fight.
Yeah. Oh my. Because the thing with like
fuck?
UFC versus professional, obviously professionals all show, but everything's choreographed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To try to pull off a body grab against a resisting athlete, that's gangster.
Gangster, yo, gangster. Definitely gangster.
That's gangster.
Yeah. That's why I love MMA, man. I don't think there's been a moment yet where I'm like, I've seen everything, you know? So there's always something fucking coming up, yeah.
Yeah, why not, right?
That's awesome.
Now, one moment I do remember now from the Conor and Poirier fight too is, I think Conor. How close do you think he was to pulling that? What is it? He tried to pull off a submission.
Oh, the
And
guillotine.
how close was he pulling it off? Was he not
Yeah.
close or?
Yeah. So, in the post-fight conference, Dustin went and admitted he's like, I got nervous for a second there. So Conor must have had a good grip going, but Dustin, he was able to hold the position on the fence there. And what you do to resist that kind of submission is you actually try to get your head turned and your chin turned towards their torso as opposed to in their arms. So Dustin, he tried to go over McGregor, or he did, and he was able to turn his chin away from the arms and more into the torso. I'm not sure if you can picture it, and I'll show you sometime. But yeah. And then when he held the, sorry.
Yeah. No, I kind of remember how he kind of got out of it. He almost like climbed the cage with his feet.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just kind of wiggled out of the submission. So it was ballsy of Conor to do because Dustin, he's a black belt and Conor's just a brown belt, which is below the black belt. So
how 1 to 10, 10 being the closest. Like how close was Conor to like how close did it look like he was gonna pull it off?
yeah, well, it looked looked pretty secure from as a spectator, and Dustin himself said that he was nervous for a second. So yeah, I guess he came kind of close there, if not for the position change.
You
You know,
think
it's
he was
actually
9.5, 8.7?
maybe like above 5, like maybe a 6 or a 7. You know, definitely to make something that made Justin go whoa, whoa, whoa. Or Dustin, sorry.
I see.
Yeah, it's actually I want to point this out to you because I know you don't follow the media as much, but Conor he said 3 things that are being kind of criticized right now. So he said that um he never counts submissions. Like submissions are thing. They don't count in MMA, just knockouts.
Uh-huh.
And that was it 2 things? Anyways, the 2 things I remember is the submissions don't count. Oh, the first one to shoot for a takedown is a bitch, he said. And then the third thing is he said Dustin's gonna leave on a stretcher. And in the fight, he shot the takedown first. He tried to submit Dustin, and then he left on a stretcher. So I don't know, man. What's up, Connor? Mystic Mac is starting to predict his own demise, I guess.
Do you agree with him? Like, how do you qualify knockouts? Like the actual punch
No,
out
hey,
or
no, yeah.
knockout as well?
When Khabib heard about what Connor said, he made a good point. There's nothing. Well, probably from a fighter standpoint, there's probably nothing more satisfying than taking your opponent to deep water, letting them know what they're about, and then forcing them to submit. Okay, you didn't knock them out. No one can say, "Oh, it was a lucky punch. It was a lucky kick." No, I took him to deep water, and I made him tap. I made him submit and surrender to me. So it's like, no, no, Connor.
Yeah. No, I agree because like even in wrestling, there's obviously there's choreographed, but you still gotta like Stone Cold said it best. Like, yeah, you may think wrestling is fake, but you still gotta put yourself through a table, and
Yeah, the pain is very
that's not
real.
all. Yeah, that's not all butterflies and rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
And you still got to take a steel chair to your head. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, but there's some submissions in WWE that like if it was translated into UFC, good luck trying to not feel any pain on those things, like a sharpshooter, Boston Crab,
Mm-hmm.
whatever
For
it
sure.
is, and even a head. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
the
Tombstone.
submissions are. Yeah, exactly.
Those are
Submissions
illegal in
are.
the UFC though.
It's almost it's more of a shot to your ego submitting. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
if you get in a fury, if you get snuck or if you get a good one on the chin,
Mhm.
I mean they got you at the right time, but
Mhm.
submitting has some sort of timing, obviously, technique for sure, strength, endurance,
Yeah.
the will to hold on to submission if they don't want to like tap.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it sucks tapping, and anybody who says otherwise, that yeah, that's not the best thing. Now, I don't know. Is this a lot of like is Connor this type of person, or is he being a showman when he says that kind of stuff? Do you think
It
he
just
truly believes
seems
that? Just
no, no, yeah,
modified.
he's just like maybe it was also a part of the mental warfare, right? Maybe he wanted Dustin to think that he wasn't gonna shoot or try to submit him, right? And if that's what it was, then God, he came close to submitting Dustin. Dustin himself said he got scared for a second. So, but yeah, that's nonsense. It's just noise. Connor just making noise. Yeah. All right. Well, guess we'll close this one up, bro. It's been a good
Okay.
pod. You still there?
Yeah. No, thank you for having me, and
Yeah,
I'll
thanks for
try
coming.
to.
Don't have Throb
Yeah.
Lowe with us today.
Dang, Throb Lowe,
Yeah.
you sexy man. What was I gonna say? I mean, I'll try to be a little bit more informative with the thing, but I almost feel like I like this dynamic of kind of knowing but not knowing everything.
Hmm.
How do you feel about it?
No, it's good. Yeah, I don't mind talking to someone and letting them know what I know about MMA. You know, on IG, it's a warfare. You know, you will be roasted for not knowing and being casual. You know, just fuck IG. If you wanna learn more or speak about it, you know, my page is where it's at, or just talk to me. You know, I'm never gonna roast someone for being a casual unless it's on a post. You know, and that's just because it's for fun, right? That's the norm on IG. You know, but I have all due respect for fans like you, and yeah, if you guys are gaining interest in sport, or you have a fighter that you know about and you just follow that fighter, and you don't follow the sport itself, like Conor or whatever, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all relevant. So yeah, I don't mind if you have another fighter that you know is gonna be fighting soon, and you wanna join in on a pod. Let me know, because as far as I know, I know that you know Connor. I don't know who else would you like to hop in on.
Maybe the OGs like Anderson Silva, Chuck Liddell. I don't know if he's gonna ever fight again.
Unfortunately, they're
What's the
both
bald guy?
retired. Bald guy.
Randy.
Yeah, Randy. He's also retired. I mean, we could still talk about
Um,
them. If the conversation ever like kind of like shifted there, but as far as like headlining cards or whatever, you know anyone that's active?
uh, maybe John Jones,
Yeah.
maybe Connor, maybe Reneau, Wonder Boy, Burns. Who else can I think of?
Yeah, see, you've also
I don't know. Do
started
you
a dialogue with
uh,
some fighters, right? You were able
what's
to
that?
talk about. No, you've also started a dialogue now, right? You now know Wonder Boy and Burns. You've added that to your knowledge, so you can
Yeah.
expand upon that.
Okay, fair enough. How about any of the co-main eventers? Uh, do you cover the women's division?
Yeah. Meisha Tate, she's fighting this weekend. I'm gonna be talking about her in my prediction segment. But
Okay.
yeah. Did you do you know her? Are you familiar with her?
Yeah, familiar with her. Misha. Who else? Who's a cyborg girl?
Well, Cyborg, she's in Bellator now, though. I don't cover her as much in the pod. Pod's mostly UFC, or basically UFC. Sometimes you dabble here and there, but
And then I think the only one outside of Ronda, Holly Holm girl.
Holly Holm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's also fighting in a little bit. But yeah, if you want, if I end up recording results for this weekend's card, tomorrow night's card, Meisha Tate will be on there. I don't know if you want to skim through her fight. I can text you when she's about to walk out and stuff, and then we can talk about that on the reactions.
Yeah. Yeah. Either or. I'm down for whatever. You just let me know.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, man. And yeah, if you're a growing fight fan on the pod here, then that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, and I appreciate the knowledge, and yeah, it's. I hope you keep this going. This is a good gig.
Yeah, for sure. It's shooting the shit, man. As Joe Rogan would say, good guy to just follow and just we doing our shit out here. It's all good.
Good stuff.
All right, man. Yeah, we'll close it up. Thank you for visiting, and yeah, I guess we'll see you if we do a reaction pod for this tomorrow's fight.
Sounds good, brother. Thanks again.
Yeah, and discussing results of the co-main and event of your or there. All right, moving on now. We are gonna just do some quick breakdown and predictions for key matchups this weekend's UFC on ESPN. Makhachev versus Moises. Islam Makhachev. Thaigo Moises. Now, like I said, key matchups. just kind of skimming through it. Yeah, we'll be out of here, people. Next time. Anyways, going up into, let's quickly talk about, because I covered Montserrat Ruiz in my page and on the pod cards ago, and she's going to be going up against Amanda Lemos, women's strawweight, before the header of the prelims there. So, we'll see. Lemos is rank 14, so this will be Montserrat Ruiz's chance to kind of just break in there, maybe get into the rankings. I believe Montserrat Ruiz, is she not? No, she is and 2 win streak. I watched her match with Cheyenne Buys. Spicy one at the end there when they were talking trash to each other. Lemos, though, she's currently on a 3-win streak. Last one was against D'Souza. KO'd her in the first round, so she better be ready for some power. You know what? Even though I covered Ruiz and did pick her to win, and she did win last fight there, go ahead and say Lemos. The resume going on there. I have to do more research to see who I would really give the edge to. You know what? I was gonna go with Amanda Lemos. I think she'll go with my best Hespect prediction. Up here, see that Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy, what are you doing at lightweight, bruh? Going up to lightweight. Tired of cutting the featherweight. And on hard times, they're 4-4 with 1 no contest in his last 5 fights. Just waiting. The Calvin Kattar fight got KO'd. That was a while ago. So, lightweight. Jeez, it's a Shark Tank already, Jeremy. So good luck to you. I'll be going against a Matus Amrot. I don't know much about this guy myself, but looking into him, his name is Gamer, and this guy is 18-1. I don't know what the UFC's trying to do here. Last fight was against Scott Holtzman. KO in the second round. This guy's Fisher. It's going to be an exciting fight, sure. They're giving Jeremy a hard. Jeremy's not scared, Jeremy don't give a fuck. But anyway, to the OGs, but Amrot just seems like a prospect and a half, man. I'm gonna have to go with Gamrot, maybe by KO again, or Jeremy. And I don't know what's going to happen to your UFC career, but if you pull this through, then oh my gosh, what an entrance! Or what a reintroduction to lightweight. You want both guys to win sometimes, and that's impossible because it's a fight. One winner has to be decided, or else bullshit. Draw or no contest, just bullshit. I want that. Look to Stevens. I'm gonna go with Gamrot by TKO. I'll say like to bang in the first round, And yes, going into the co-main there, Meisha Tate on her comeback. Facing off against Marion Reneau. I don't know too much about the matchup, but just regards to its record as of 2016, which was the last year that she fought. It is now 5 years later. Last 2 losses were Pennington and Amanda Nunes, who, by surprise, are fighting for the title. Cool. Maybe she's trying to get in there, right? If Raquel somehow beats Amanda Nunes, Meisha can maybe call her out. Be a little chance for her to score a rematch there for a title. If Amanda Nunes do Hespect expectedly demolishes Raquel Pennington, there's still a chance for Meisha Tate to say something. Her last 2 losses. So, looking really good for her. Good time to come in. Opponent. Some fans might say, oh, she's picking at someone who, by all appearances, is on their way out. Hopefully it's not as scandalous as that, but it's what it looks like at face value. Most fans, so it needs to be respected. It's an opinion. People want to be respectful. It's just how it is sometimes. So I'm gonna respectfully say Tate, by submission, possible, or decision. I'm decision. She's on for a long time. I don't know what new tools she has, but I'm sure she'll be hesitant and we feel a little bit octagon jitters herself coming back. So we'll see. She's gonna take it by decision. And then moving into the main event there. This is quite a short conversation. It's just so hard to pick against Khabib and his team. Thaigo Moises, obviously, you don't want to overlook him. Guy is a beast in his own right. He is number 14. Islam's supposed kind of break-in party to the rankings. Good luck to Thaigo Moises against the looking Thaigo Moises. You know, the dude is also coming to his own. That decision over Alexander Hernandez, the decision over Bob Green, the submission on Michael Johnson, the Achilles lock, that was creative. I really like that. And yeah, he's can get over Islam. I mean, number 9, constantly trying to get higher. A lot of hype behind him. A lot of support from Khabib. Getting coached by Khabib. Khabib undefeated, undisputed. Number 1. Notice. And he's 4-0 as a coach now, Mr. Khabib. Islam recently finished Drew Dober. KG. They're related to each other because KG fought Khabib. They know these Sambo guys are serious. The domination of Davi Ramos, Arman Saryukin, John Johnson, the knockout of Gleason, you know, he's got that really cool, like, I believe it's the jab with the left or the right, sideways, and kind of shifts you into his dominant hand, the cross, the left cross, right cross. Really good movement in terms of a Sambo guy, like you wouldn't expect that. And of course, Gleason definitely didn't expect it. Yeah, knock that one there. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and say decision because, you know, Thaigo Moises, he's a tough out. I don't think he's ever been finished. All decisions. He's well versed on the ground, as he should be. Brazilian. The Brazilian Jets. Ignorantly said, but apologize on behalf of my casual. Anywho, yeah, so I'm gonna go with unanimous decision by Islam. You're gonna just dominate and get the W home. Shit. I guess that puts a close to this, you know? That'll be a wrap for this episode. I hope to get them out real soon, you know? I'm recording the pod right now with my new powerful laptop. Hopefully this sounds all good. And thanks as always for listening, you know. Hit that like and subscribe. Show us some support. But yeah, you know, I don't know when we'll get on a more solid schedule. Things are still up in the air, but we're still going to be recording episodes discussing MMA, talking all MMA and chill. Anyways, it's Hespectful Keith here, and hope to see you on the next episode. Tell all your friends about it. Hespect, and we out. Hey, thank you so much for listening in on today's episode of the Hespect MMA podcast. If you'd like to connect with me and discuss your own responses over anything MMA related, come follow my Instagram or Twitter at Hespect MMA Pod. And for those of you listening in via YouTube, remember to hit that like and subscribe button to show some continued love and support. Appreciation to you, and tune on in the next episode. Much Hespect.